What just happened here? Hey, give me a second here. Apparently, I've got an issue with a camera. Let's see what happens there. Okay. I don't know what I just did there, but I messed up my camera. So, hallelujah. Here we go. Um, guys, welcome. I just got a little bit of a technical issue here that I wish I could fix, but it's not giving me an option here. Screen share in stream. No, here we go. For whatever reason, I'll just okay. So I'll give you a little update here. It is 10 o'clock. You can hear the ding dong in the background there. Um, we are we're at 10 o'clock here, and I want to discuss today 6 different ways that you can create income online. And one of the things that I was doing is, if you'll notice here, my eyes keep kind of flipping back and forth. I'm on live on TikTok as well as YouTube. So So if you see me kind of flipping back and forth, that's why I've got 2 recordings going on here. And my YouTube was supposed to be using my new camera, but for whatever reason, it does not want to do that. I pressed a button and I shouldn't have pressed that button. And so now I cannot change cameras. Channel. Yeah, I can't change. I can't change cameras, so I guess we gotta suck it up and deal with it. Excuse me. So, guys, welcome. Um, Again, we're going to be talking today about 6 different ways to create reliable retirement income using online systems. And we're going to dive into it here pretty quick, but I just want to give you a little bit of a heads up on me. If you haven't followed me at all, my name's Harry. I'm a grandpa and a pilot from the prairies in Canada. Um, I've been a real estate investor for 20 years and used to be pretty sweet gig. But lately, it's just nothing but bills. The rents are not keeping up. Hey, Leo, welcome. The rents are not keeping up, and the bills are just kind of going through the roof. So all of a sudden, what used to be really good properties are now, kind of dragging a little bit, and it just no end of surprise repairs, no end of surprise property tax, insurance increases. Like you can pretty much count on every one of those going up anywhere from 5 to 10% a year. And a lot of times the rents just aren't following suit. So, what was ending up happening? Well, not only that, but the next thing you know, on one of my properties or another one of my properties. I mean, one property I think I actually put on 3 new roofs last year at five or $8,000 each. I put a brand new boiler in my apartment building at $45,000, and stuff like that. It kills your cash flow. It kills any kind of debt pay down you've had. So now all of a sudden you've got a ton of money invested in a piece of real estate and you're getting no return from it. You'd be better off to buy a bond, a government bond. At least you get money back. So anyways, that's who I am, and that's what brought me into the online world, because I was looking for a better way to create income without having to deal with all the headaches and all the stress and all the tenant drama of rental properties. So, you know, I'm just gonna I'm just gonna lay it out what I've been finding here. I'll let you guys make your own decision as to if you like real estate, if you see any of the options that I'm listing out here. Um, by all means, hey Nader, by all means, follow that path. I'm just giving you information. That's all I want to do here. That's all I want to create, is just a place that you can get information and make a decision that you guys feel safe with. So, anyways, let's go, shall we? The first one that I want to discuss is, of course, YouTube. Now, if you're anything like me, you probably got a couple of faves on YouTube that you follow. I know I'm an aviation guy, so I've got a couple of my favorite aviation guys that I follow on Sorry, I've got a couple aviation guys that I follow, and all they do is they fly some really cool airplanes, and they post the videos of flying these airplanes. Now, a lot of the airplanes, I mean, they're nice, they're beautiful, but I mean, the flights are, at altitude, 20,000, 30,000 feet, wherever he happens to be, and they're just flying from A to B. And people eat that stuff up. So, anyways, what I'm getting at here is if you get a channel like that where you can, share your passions, your joy with folks. YouTube pays if you can build a really nice community of followers doing that and create reliable, consistent contact. I mean, YouTube pays pretty well for that. Again, I mean, my wife follows a lot of the cruisers. Um, they go on cruises here, there, and everywhere, and they'll give you a rundown of the different boats. They'll give you a rundown of the different destinations. Give you a rundown of different restaurants on the boat, so just stuff like that, and things you can do when you get to these particular places. And you know, first of all, the cruise lines love that kind of stuff. We're going to get to that in a minute here when we start talking about affiliate. The cruise lines love that kind of stuff, but people watch that and people really get great information out of that, and then they can ask questions that get answered. So when you do something like that, again, YouTube pays pretty well. If you get a really rocking community, YouTube pays you pretty well. Now, the second thing on the list is going to be your affiliate marketing. Now, again, if you're anything like me, you're curious about, you're maybe looking at this, that, or the other thing. Again, cruises, perhaps travel destinations. Right now, we're starting to. I mean, it's February now. As I'm recording this, it's February. We're starting to get into the spring season, thinking about spring and opening up the campsite. And I'm looking for new lithium batteries. Well, of course, I'm going online and I'm watching all these videos on different, power systems for RVs. And guys will give you the pros and cons of each one. Some guys will compare each one, and if you happen to like their information, you can ask them all sorts of questions. They'll answer them. If you happen to buy off one of the links, because most of them will have a link down below. If you happen to buy off one of those links, um, hold on a second, guys. Give me half a second here. Okay, sorry about that, guys. If you happen to buy off one of his links, now that particular person will get a little commission from selling that product. They're kind of like a salesman, I guess you'd say. So again, affiliate marketing, if you're into that kind of stuff, if you have different products that you want to follow, or that you want to promote, by all means, it can be very lucrative, especially when you start getting into things like snowboards. Again, battery systems, any kind of things like that. You can make a decent living on that. Plus, you're most probably going to be offering that on YouTube. And again, as you build up your community on YouTube, I mean, YouTube pays you pretty well for stuff like that. So the third one that I've got on the list is digital products. Now, if you happen to have some ideas, i.e., you want to create a book or something like that. This is one of the ones we're going to go into a little bit here. But if you create a book or a course or something like that, you can create that, and you can all of a sudden you can offer that, you can promote that using online marketing, social media platforms. You can promote that, and as you promote that, people buy that product. Well, of course, it's your product. You make 100% profit off that product. So there's another issue there. Now I'm going to go into digital products here for a second. If you do happen to make that course, if you do happen to make that write that book or whatever it happens to be, that how to, that um, whatever that happens to be for you, you've got to prepare it. You've got to put it together. Now if you have those skills, great. It's probably not going to be a big deal. You've probably got it half written in your head right now. But you have to get out there once you've got it running, once you've got it up and set up. You have to go out there and promote it and market it, and fingers crossed, somebody will be interested and they will buy it. But that can become a bit of an issue if you spend a lot of time and effort and energy and some money putting together a product, and you go and market it and you market it properly, but all of a sudden, nobody wants it. And so now you've just kind of invested all all that effort and energy into something that nobody's interested in. So that's kind of the digital. And again, guys, if you've got any questions, drop them in the comments. More than happy to answer any questions you've got. You can send me a DM as well if you prefer. But I'm more than happy to answer any questions you've got, and I'll just give you an unbiased answer, whatever I think um, is is relevant to the questions you've asked. So the next thing on the list, and this is one that's getting more and more um, more and more traction lately, because what I'm talking about is memberships and communities. And the reason I say that's getting more and more traction is this: people don't want to be sold to anymore. We're moving out of a transactional economy into a relationship, into a trust economy. And what I mean by that is, with all the AI bouncing around and all this, half the time you don't even know what's real anymore. And again, I mean, I'm talking to my YouTube or my TikTok people here. I'm sure you've seen, if you're following some people on TikTok, I'm sure you've seen it lots where those people might have five or six um, spoof accounts, and those accounts have nothing to do with the underlying content creator. They're Who knows what they are. I mean, I've heard some god awful stories, to be quite honest with you. People that are, you know, selling a legitimate product, offering a legitimate program, and the next thing you know, somebody spoofed their name and they're selling crypto or something like that, or they're selling, Bitcoin, or who knows. I mean, and the next thing somebody's contacting the original. This actually happened to a lady that I know fairly well. Somebody was contacting her and saying, "Yeah, like I've been paying you X number of dollars a month for months now. Where's the value? Where are we going with this?" And she says, "Well, I'm sorry, but like that's not me. That's somebody else." That's heartbreaking when stuff like that happens. Anyways, what I'm getting at here, and there are what we're doing now is we're creating communities. And I have my own community where we talk about. I'm just starting it now, but we're talking about where I'm talking about real estate investment, and you know how the real estate investment uh, scenario, how the real estate investing um, landscape has changed. So it's not nearly as lucrative as it used to be. It's not nearly as solid an investment opportunity as it used to be. So I talk about that a lot in my community now. But these communities, you own that community. It's your place, and you can bring people in there, and nobody can get into these. You got to watch it, obviously, but people can't get into these communities and try and spoof you and try and take your clients, your members away, um, and scam them. And that's not available on your social media platforms. Not only that, but once you've got this community all set up and you're starting to get some solid members in there, um, the community, they won't change. They can't change the algorithm. They can't change something. They can't ban you because it's yours. Whereas you get onto social media, and I don't care which one it is, they can change an algorithm, and all of a sudden, and again, I mean, if you've been around social media for a while, you've probably seen this with your friends. You've probably seen this with some of the people that you follow. An algorithm change, and they're gone. Some of them get banned for whatever reason, and they'll just come up with, "Oh, by the way, you're banned today," and you never get an answer as to why. You never get an answer as to what happened or how you can get your platform back. And and it's really weird when you think about it for a second, because you've got all these spoofs out there that may be spoofing your channel, and they're fine. Nothing happens to them. But you, for whatever reason, and a lot of times the reasons are silly. Like, I mean, oh, you violated our our terms of engagement, and well, which one did I violate? Well, we don't know. You just violated it because the algorithm said you did, so therefore you're up. And then your business is gone. If you've got your own community, that doesn't happen. That can't happen. So, anyways, that's communities for you. Now, the next thing is, and here again, I mean, a lot of people do very well with this, but you've got to, be ready to get up there and do some work. What I'm talking about now is coaching. And of course, I mean, there's lots of coaches out there. I'm sure you, hold on a second here. Sorry, guys. This is why I love TikTok so much. Okay. So, people will coach, and you've probably followed a few of them. I mean, one of the biggest ones that comes to mind is Tony Robbins. I mean, that's what he does. He coaches. He's a personal development coach. You might have some friends of yours that do coaching, anything, weight loss, relationship advice, certainly financial advice. There's lots of coaches out there that are doing different things like that. Now, you've got to know what you're doing, and you've got to be willing to, essentially get up in front of crowds and show your wares, show your skills. So that's another option that you can do is personal coaching. And again, it takes a lot of work, and and it may or may not be your thing, depending on what your previous skills are. I mean, if you spent your whole career developing coaching opportunities, trainings, and things like that in a corporate environment, maybe this is right up your alley, and you can keep doing that. It can be very profitable. So, the last one on the list that I want to talk about is I want to talk about master resale rights. Now, I'm going to go into this on Friday. I'm going to be doing a webinar on Friday. If you want to get onto that webinar, drop me a note. Go to my bio and get the link, yourwealthmastery.com. You can get you can get onto my site. You can get onto my email list, and once you're on my email list, then of course I'll be sending out emails inviting people and giving the links and the times and everything like that for my webinar on Friday. So more than welcome to check it out if you like. But what I want to talk about, these master resale rights. Now, these are really cool because these are a product. You don't make them. You remember I talked before about creating your own digital product? Well, the master resale rights product is a product that you didn't make. And what you do is they'll provide training for that, but you essentially market that product on social media, and any once you buy it once, you can sell that product. You can resell that product as many times as you want, and you make 100% profit on that product. Now, there's a few of them out there. Let me put it to you that way. There's a few of them out there. Master resale rights are getting kind of less and less these days. The one that I'm involved with right now is a very, very good product, and it's not going anywhere. Now we're actually expanding. We're going into the Spanish market. We just launched back in the fall. We launched that product in Spanish, which is, it's pretty cool because that all of a sudden that just expanded markets to, South America and any place where Spanish is spoken fluently. So master resale rights is the one that I'm following right now. Again, I did not have to create that product myself. Not only did I not have to create it, but it's fully done for you product. And again, if you want more information on that, please by all means just send me an email, or send me a DM or something like that. Drop a note in the comments. I'm more than happy to answer any questions you've got on it. You can get a link as well. If you go to my bio, you get a link out of my bio. You can www.yourwealthmastery.com. You can go there and get more information there as well. So I really like the master resale rights because, again, I'm just doing my thing, and it took me probably a couple of days to set it up. And once it's all set up, then it just operates in the background. And I don't have to, obviously, I have to create content. That's what I'm doing anyways. That's what any of these other products. That's what any of these other programs. Um, that's how you get your name out there. That's how you find out. Oh, I just got a viewer badge, and I sent a rose too. Thank you. That's how you get your name out there to to your prospective clients is by creating content on social media, however that happens to look. So anyways, that's kind of where that all sits. So so again, I just the product is a master Mohammed. The product is a master resale rights product. If you want more, okay, hold on. Okay. Anyways, the product is a master resale rights product. It works on automations, and I'll give you a couple of options there. If this is a training project, and I think this is something that bears mention right now is that this is a training product, and so what it does is it teaches you. You're not just selling somebody else's product, because this is what happens here. If you're selling somebody else's product, they can change. Again, it's just like the social media platforms and our algorithms. They can change the rules on you, and that's and you're done. Like you can they can change compensation programs, whatever. When you've got the master resale rights, when you're learning these master resale rights, you can use it for a couple of different things. Number one, if you've got your own product, whatever that happens to be, again, this code a coaching or a community or something like that, you can sorry you can use these skills because it's an e-learning platform. You can use these skills to train to offer your service, your product or your service, and it really allows you to expand your markets. So whereas if you're bricks and mortar and you're just in your community, all of a sudden you can expand your markets to national and international. Not only that, but social media is the way things are going. I mean, the social media industry is the e-learning industry is blowing up. It started off, I think it was 2019. It was about $900 million a year industry. Not a small amount of money, not by a long stretch, but it's projected to be a $1 trillion industry by 2030. Like, it's an expanding industry, and everybody wants to get in there because it's expanding. If somebody wants to expand their own markets for their own product, that puts you, if you learn these skills, these high income skills, that really puts you in demand for these for your business, like whoever you're working for. If you happen to if you're working for a 9 to 5, if you're working for a corporation, you can go to their departments and you can say, hey, listen, I'm learning these skills. um, do you have some other opportunities for me that where I can use these skills? And I'll tell you what, I was doing a charity flight, this is a couple of years ago. I was doing a charity thing, and we were on a conference call with them one day, and we were talking away, and I told them that I was learning these skills, these digital marketing skills. They offered me a job point blank. And the reason they did is because these skills are becoming very in demand. So if you want to learn these skills to apply to your own business, to apply to the company you work for, I mean, they're very much in demand. The next thing is if you don't have a product, if you don't have your own business, if you don't have your own 9 to 5, um, these products or these skills, uh, this program, you can offer this program for sale, and that can be your option. And again, it's a 100% master resale rights, so you make 100% profit. It's all run on automation, so once you get it set up, you kind of obviously there's content creation work to be done, but other than that, the automations take care of all the, engaging with your people, sending them valuable information, um, sending them, fulfilling the product if they when they purchase your program, the automations fulfill the product delivery. And if somebody's looking at your product and your program and they decide it's not for them, the automations take care of that. They can just opt out and you don't even know it. If you've spent any time in sales, we've all been in sales a little, or maybe you haven't, I don't know. But one of the things for sales is we called it go for the no. And so the theory was for every 10 no's you get one yes. And so we wanted as many no's as possible, because if you got 100 no's, then you got 10 yeses. And that's how you made it do. Don't you think it gets a little draining hearing no over and over and over again? Because I tell you what, it sure did for me. Well, the automations in the master resale rights arena, they take care of all those no's. They deal with those clients. So again, it's not for everybody. If you're not coachable, it's probably not for you. If you think it's going to happen overnight and you don't have to do anything, it's probably not for you. It does take some energy, does take some effort, but there's a lot of people in our community. We got like 58,000 people in our community right now, and 100, and I'm not even sure how many now, probably 100 and at last count 106 six-figure earners. Now think about that for a second. We're talking six figures in US dollars. Do you think that'd change your life a little bit? We've got a few seven-figure earners. Same thing there. Like, what kind of a legacy could you leave for your family if you had seven-figure incomes? And again, this is not like real estate where all your money's tied up in a piece of real estate, and if something happens, it's not available. This is income. This goes into your bank account. You can use this to reinvest. You can use this to pay off debt. You can use this to do whatever you wanted. The dream life that you've dreamed of your whole career, and now all of a sudden, maybe the work's not not quite giving you quite the ability to live that dream life. Well, now all of a sudden you've got some legacy income with an online e-learning program. You've got some legacy income that you can use to live that dream life. So anyways, guys, that's about all I've got right now. I'm going to leave you with this. Here's what I want you to do now. I want you to go to my bio, go to my descriptions. I want you to grab a copy of the Freedom Formula Blueprint. You'll find the link for it there. Have a look. And if this is for you, great. If it's not for you, that's okay. But I want you to make a decision based on knowledge, not based on emotion. Don't just say, oh, I can't do that. I want you to at least have a look at it, find some information out, and make a decision based on what's best for you and what's best for your family, and a decision that you feel safe with. I don't want you having regrets, believe me. So anyways, guys, that's all I got for you right now. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for being on here. Really appreciate you and everything you do. So guys, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, and we'll chat with you soon.